So I wasn't entirely sure if this would be helpful, but decided the longer that I've been doing this, the more I'm kind of going, someone might find this interesting eventually. So essentially I wasn't going to do this. I was going to use loops, but then I was looking at the loops API and documentation and realized I probably want to build my own email delivery platform. Couple reasons for this, but the main one is that since we're going to be doing automatic delivery and people won't be able, I don't think I'm going to let anyone bulk upload emails. I think they'll have to sign up through Echo Press for a specific podcast or listen or whatever, kind of like you would do for maybe Patreon has a bulk invite, but we're going to make it so that that people have to opt in. And the only way they can opt in is if they put their email there. I mean, I guess a podcaster or creator could manually put everyone's email in, but that's unlikely. So that's one thing. Another thing that we wanted to do, we wanted to make sure we get the right amount of data. So now we're going through and trying to figure out like what's the best platform to be able to do this on, because I think we're not even gonna let people. We're gonna do a couple things that are gonna be interesting or different. We're not gonna let people update their own content. I don't think. We're not gonna let people. I don't think we're going to let people change the design of the email either. The third thing is we're going to have programmatic ads. So if they allow ads on their email, they will be able to choose what ad sections they allow in their newsletter. And then when that happens, like it'll only stay in those spots. That way readers know exactly what they're getting. So if someone decides on one email, one newsletter, they only want one ad placement, but next month they want to decide they want 2 ad placements so they can earn more per newsletter because their readership is growing, or maybe the opposite way, because their readership is growing, they actually don't need to make as much money. We want that. We want to have pretty clear analytics for the advertiser platform that we're going to build on top of this. And so that needs to be put in place too. And by having our own custom email platform, it allows us to kind of play around a little bit more with that, so that we can make this experience good for the readers, good for the advertisers, and good for the publishers or podcasters. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just kind of going through and like exploring features. And so right now, I introduced me to Resend and a couple others. I've heard some bad things about Resend, so I was like, hey, let me just get it from the source. So I've been checking out Amazon and their pricing and how it's set up and everything. So that's probably who we're going to go with. I haven't used AWS at all. And that's mostly because I just heard bad things about it as far as like pricing. It's just like it just kills you for pricing. But yeah, so looking at pay as you go, that really helped. So it's not upfront, and then the first 3,000 sends are free. So that was really helpful too. And they have transparent pricing. So all these things are very helpful for us this early on. Now later that'll get expensive and then we'll migrate off. But for now, it seems pretty easy. And so now I'm just asking ChatGPT questions. Like I just said that I want click tracking for our ads and newsletters so we can accurately display what the advertiser's cost per click is. And since we will have programmatic blocks, advertisers, what I want it to be is like on the advertising side. Here, you can see kind of a prototype a little bit. Oops, I think it's down here. The advertisers, I want it to be like this. And I wanted to have like how many subscribers they have, 65%, what their average open rate is, how much money it'll cost them per month or things like that, or maybe it's per issue. I haven't decided yet. and then people will be able to search by category or description. But we're gonna anonymize all of this, so it won't say anything. It'll just say like subscribers, what what their newsletter is about, their open rate, and everything like that. And then we built in a. So I gotta use my 5th task. I started doing this because I need to use my 5th task. So we built in a advertiser bidding algorithm. We worked with ChatGPT to build out a bidding algorithm and kind of stress test it a little bit. So that'll help us make a really good advertising product. So for here, every time that there's a newsletter that's set to go out, so that's programmatic ad slots. But I didn't do the programmatic ad slots, so I'm gonna not do that yet. I'm gonna write this later. So right here we probably want to do programmatic ad slots locations, and then we want to probably do programmatic ad submission flow, and then over here we're probably going to want, as far as we don't already have it here, accepting bids we have, but we want ad approval flow, because we want there to be a submission, and we want it to be completely hands off on our side. And so we're going to do a submission flow and an approval flow that will help. And then we'll have a reading product too, but we're kind of simplifying that, and then we'll get deeper into that later. So that's a Gym framework doc exploration. We're not going to do that right now. That's a previous video I just did. We gotta cancel out of that. Okay, can it automatically create the tracking? Can we automatically create a tracking link for the 3 slots of ads? Okay, we're gonna have to do the ads stuff later, because I kind of know exactly what I'm gonna do with it. So what's this? Oh yeah, I gotta do this real quick. I totally forgot. That I was still working on. Oh no, did I already do that? Are there any pull requests out? Okay, cool. So from here, let's go ahead and tell it to, we're trying to get it to work on something. So it already did that. Yeah, so you're seeing a lot of strike throughs. These are all what Jules did. And of course you have to check these later. Like we're gonna check these and stress test them and everything. Like we're not just gonna let AI code. We're not vibe coders in the sense that we let AI just tell us what it's gonna do. We have to check it because we want our product to have quality. But this is just speeding up the same way that I'm not technical, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna build a crappy product. It means it's going to have thought. I'm going to try to make it fair, try to be transparent. You know, there's certain product strategies and design choices that I will naturally and innately make or inherently make. Vibe coding doesn't change that. So if If Bolt gives me back UI that I do not like, I'm going to change it. I'm not just going to accept it. Same thing for backend and flow. If Jules or Copilot Agent or Claude or anyone or Codex from OpenAI, Gemini, if they give me code that doesn't work, I'm not going to use that code. And so, wait, Jules is Google. Sorry, forgot. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna update that code. Now I might use Claude. Like if Jules has if Jules has code that isn't good, then I will use Gemini, or not Gemini, because that again is Google. I will use Claude or OpenAI to do that, and Claude just released Sonnet 4 and Opus 4, which they hadn't updated Opus in like a year and change, I think. So that's exciting because I've never used Opus because it was updated so long ago. But right now we're just going to try and build out this ad queue. Every day the application needs to check each advertisement bid that it's been won. And approved. No, let's change that. Every time an advertisement bid is won, updated on the what Superbase just adds. Let's do it this way. Because we haven't done what it is one, have we? Yeah, we got some stuff to do. Because we did the bidding part. But we need to do, okay. Add bidding. Bidding flow. We're going to have to do that tomorrow. So every time an average bid is won and updated on, oh, that means we can't do it then. Updated in Superbase with a new row on the ad placement table. The application needs to check what newsletter and article that the ad was be featured on. Yeah, because we need the bidding flow and the approval flow. Let's say submission. Need to actually work in parallel. Submission and approval flow. So I think what will happen is that an advertiser will bid, and then once their bid, like their dollar amount has been accepted, then it'll lock that advertising block. And then that advertiser has something like, let's say, we'll put some logic in there, like it has like 6 hours to, it can't do a block for the same day, and it has 6 hours to submit their creative. And then from there, oh man, so then they would have to put that stuff in escrow, won't they? Wow, that's going to be interesting because because now we need to do add payment flow. Just realized flow, because if they don't approve them in a certain amount of time, so it'll be something like they submit the ad creative, have 6 hours, the publisher approves it, they also need a time ban, so once it's submitted they might have we're also gonna have they might have another 6 hours to approve it. And when it's approved, then an invoice will be sent to the advertiser. That's how it's gonna. An invoice from Stripe will be sent to an advertiser. Once they pay it, then that creative or that block is locked for that advertiser for ad placement. The creative is automatically uploaded, and all the programmatic things happen once it's paid. So that's probably how that's gonna work. Man, I'm gonna think through that. Because we need to also be able to show on the front end the approval flow once we design it on the back end. Where is it? Oh, the approval flow right here. This is back end work. We'll also need to develop front end work for doing that as well. So that is not ready for prime time. Oh my gosh, first day, and I'm not even going to be able to use all 5. That sucks so much. There's got to be something I can use it on. It's free. It's like, polling RSS feeds. No, because RSS feeds pull. Right? No, I don't think it will. When an RSS feed is input into the application by a publisher, then the application needs to see the general publishing. Is going to add a little bit of logic. Dates of the podcast and use that to create regular polling schedules for pulling pulling episodes into the content generator flow, going from getting transcript to creating content blocks to creating newsletters. Okay, if a podcast, if a new episode of a podcast does not appear for we also need to do the logic of newsletter creation. One. Basically newsletters only get published once per day. When a newsletter is published, the content feed for that publisher is updated. The subscribers of that newsletter now articles need to remember that we're calling them articles. But I really should change it. I really should change it. That's silly. I don't know why I put that there. So I call it articles. Newsletters are the names of the newsletters, which really should be called publications, and the other thing should be called like newsletters or something. Okay, that's cool. whatever. Let's go back now that we understand what our naming conventions are. Articles only get published once a day. When a newsletter is published, the content feed for that publisher is article. The subscribers of that newsletter now, after an article is published of that newsletter now see it in their content feed, their reading application at him the next morning. The previous day's newsletter is published is sent out as an email to the subscriber's email. We also need to do Stripe logic. This is fun. Stripe implementation for paid newsletters. That's fun. So we got a lot more work to do on here. With that said, here we got a lot of work to do. We also have to do work on the front end. It's fine, but it's not like it's not really quite what I want it to be. Might be good for MVP though. Okay. Here we are. So in that case, do we have anything that can be done by Emily right now? Today, even when there is a queue of articles, because the application was able to pull more than 7 articles from a single podcast episode. So I think we should do RSS feeds. I think if a new podcast of an episode does not appear for more than 14 days, the polling adjusts to 21 days. If a new episode of a podcast does not appear for more than 30 days, then I think we need to send application needs to send email to the publisher that asks if they still want to continue with their paid plan. Okay, so we're not going to do that then because we don't have email set up yet. So let's go articles publishing logic. You publish once a day. That's not right though. Articles only get published to the public once per day. So when an article gets added to the articles row into the articles table, the application needs to create a publishing date for the article. If there is already a publishing date, if there's already an article scheduled to be published on that date from that publisher, then the article gets moved to the next day and continues to get moved until it finds a date that is not already have an article scheduled to be published. I feel like there's an easier way to do that logic, like from a code side. But I don't know how you would do that logic. Two articles from the same publisher cannot be published the same day. All right, let's just give that to it. See if we can do it. All right, so we're gonna add another task. It's creating new branches every single time, and then I think it's closing them out. Okay, that's my last one for today. So now it's going to work on that. What's cool though is, well, what I think is cool is like, that's going to work and do a bunch of stuff. And then I am just going to come here and just say, strike through. Then I'm going to work on this part. We'll be able to offer our newsletter as a paid subscription. I need to go work out. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Hopefully this was illuminating. Oh yeah, see, it's already done. Okay, so it already had the, oh, so this was actually pretty easy for it then. All right, see y'all. See ya, it's already going. It's coding now. What a nice new thing to use, man. I'll probably use this every day. There's so many things I have to code, which means I need to get really busy on writing Gen Prompt framework docs, especially for backend. If it's going to be able to knock out 5 of these per day, I need to start working on them for all these products I have so that we can push all these products forward. That's really cool.